Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. We're live from Joy 99.7 FM here at Chi and Dreams FM in Bogatanga. You can also download the My Joy Online app from Play Store and App Store and listen live on the internet. In this edition, massive illegal meter connections uncovered by ASAP said to be costing the nation 1.3 million cedis annually. We have details plus recommendations of ASAP to deal with this problem. And we are not responsible for the current intermittent power supply. Bui Power Authority hits back at Gridco, accusing the distributor of misinforming.
Of the low water level in the dam.
I mean, let me be bold enough and say that I think Gridco has misled the minister in making such a sad statement. But
as the nation continues to grapple with power outages, the Institute for Energy Security is warning the situation may worsen.
We think will stay with us for a very long time.
We have details of that, and police in the Western region seek information and mount search for gunmen who shot.
Very soon, we'll be able to get a culprit and get them face them out. Also to provide security for them.
We're live on the ground and in
with his former club, Dreams FC. Details later in sports.
An EU observer mission describes Ghana's Supreme Court as reliable.
Courts in Ghana, we accept it because we think it's reliable and acceptable, and it was proceeded in a normal and, let me say, neutral way.
Thanks for your company. This is your home of bulls. For the current intermittent power supply in the country. For weeks, many Ghanaians across the country continue to endure power outages, the shortage of water in the Bui Dam. But Bui is fighting back this afternoon. We have more from the CEO shortly. But first, listen to Gridco's Mr. Magba.
Which is in the central part of the country. So when it is in operation, it supplies part of the central part and the rest of the load plant, because of the low water level in the dam. In view of this, it's from down south, upwards towards the north. Kumasi happens to be the major central point within the system, every low. When voltages are low, you switch on your light, it's almost dim. Normally people call it low current. It's actually to prop up the voltage. The entire system will collapse.
Exclusively tells my colleague Elton Brobe the dam is up and running and has never been shut down despite the low level of water.
I mean, let me be bold enough and say that I think Gridco has misled the minister in making such three.
It's not true that the water.
It's not true. It's not. That water has gone down without any doubt whatsoever. But this is not an unforeseen act, much as we generated last year. And we give them month by month how much we're going to. If there's a problem, let's talk about it. And so they should have looked at our supply plan and make alternative arrangement to fill in the gap. But to say that there's doing so.
Are you generating now?
And as at this morning, I think 90 from the B2B. It's not something which has been sprung on us unprepared. We knew last year that it would be like that. It has nothing to do with us. It's no. The problem has nothing to do with us. You have borrowed.
I'm talking about the water situation.
No, for 10 days. And when we calculated, it was something like $600,000 equivalent per day, the West, for the 3 years. So we expect next year to be much better. These for at peak 2,800 to sustain the system. And a generator will go and look it from somewhere. If you don't go and look for it and you wait and your light go off and say that it's because of Bui's 90, that's quite misleading.
So the point is that
enough water in the reservoir. It's as simple as that.
That's the Chief Executive Officer of Bui Power Authority, is projecting prolonged power outages if the cash flow problems of utility companies are not about 30%. Parts of Accra and the country experienced power outages last night, but the distributors, the situation will worsen.
We see it more as a cash flow challenge on the cash constraint because UCG, as the utility, the producers, through the transmitter Gridco, and they have to sell this power to consumers. They have high tax.
Stay a while longer on the sector, but this time the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ASAP, has revealed that at a virtual meeting, ASAP describes the situation as widespread and costing the country over 1.3 million cedi. He presented the findings.
Now, we also discovered that agents of the power distributed, which includes subcon. They advise consumers on illegal connection and meter tampering for their private gain. Again, politicians share and connect households to the grid for electoral gains without the actors. The power distributors are not involved. The data on the meters are not, they don't pay for it. Now, the evidence that we've seen from this work suggests that the numbers of installed, which will require very active monitoring to uncover.
That's Kojo Yaoche, Policy Lead, Petroleum and Conventional. We're still working the lines to get ECG for a response to this latest research. But President Akufo-Addo says his government is working to fix all barriers to productivity, starting atmosphere for growth and development. The president a while ago commissioned an $80 million steel manufacturing firm at Prom, the biggest in West Africa and the third biggest in Africa.
Today, the steel plant creates approximately 2,000 jobs directly and indirectly, with a first phase initial investment of $80 million and an installed production capacity of 250,000 tons per an additional $70 million with an installed capacity of 300,000 tons of mixed steel products. We are grateful for your guidance and encouragement under the 1D1F, but we would like to shed a light and traffic congestion on the Tema Flower route.
Well, the B5 factory under the One District One factory is expected to produce.
I reiterate my support for the assurances given by the Minister for Trade and Industry as far as security to title to productivity, which have been identified by both the promoter of this enterprise and the of these incentives can be guaranteed. We cannot create the necessary numbers of high-paying jobs that will address this grave problem of unemployment. Roll out the 1D1F initiative.
President Akufo-Addo a while ago at that commissioning of the steel factory in Pram. This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. I'll take you to the western region now, where the police have died in Swaziland came to Ghana to monitor a building project. They were buying some building materials when they were attacked by 6 armed men on motorbikes. The man, Charles Kwache, is said to have struggled with one of the robbers when he attempted to snatch a bag containing different currencies, including a government hospital, where he later died. Regional correspondent Inathalia Kwanza has been to the scene. He joins us with more on this incident.
And then at her lower lip. At the moment, she's responding to treatment at the Takoradi Government Hospital, but she looks now.
Well, you got to interact with an eyewitness who took the couple to the hospital after the shooting. What did she tell you?
He happened to be a taxi driver, and he tells me that yesterday when the couple had parked there, they parked just behind his taxi because it was a queue. So they thought that they heard gunshots, but initially they even thought one of their car tire has busted, only for them to see that one of the robbers was hitting the woman with the victim, now deceased, and the wife into his car, took them to the European hospital in Takoradi here. When they got there, the man was breathing, but it was very on a very regional hospital. The man gave up the ghost, and that was it.
Well, you've been interacting with the police in the region on this particular issue.
They are working around the clock. This comes in as a surprise because they've not seen something like this in the Western region. Let's take a listen to what she said.
Police are working with them. So we are putting all measures in place. One, to ensure that we get the corporate. Two, also to provide security for a lot of people there. Anybody who have any little information that might help in getting these people, we will really appreciate it.
In a part of the refugee camp in Budumburam, Kaswa, believed to be a haven for criminals, have revealed that people sometimes come to lure them with money. Swan its environs, the refugee camp, which was supposed to be a safe space for people who fled the war in Liberia. As part of our series.
It is a hot afternoon and I'm in the alleyways of a part of the refugee camp where many consider to be the den of criminals. Here, I've met Yusuf Haruna, considered by his peers as the unofficial king of the central region. He says he once reported a pregnant woman who came to the camp to hire hitmen to kill a pastor in Swidru.
Come and find people's here to go and rob. And she tell me that She need a boys. Make they go rob one man at Sodru. She even say the man is a pastor. He's a man of God. If we rob the man and we will not kill the man will later come and find out that.
Mubarak Hamidu lives at the refugee camp.
If bad thing go happen for some place, they go talk in camp. Why? See the 3 days today or last.
Kelvin Jackson is an ex-convict. He was jailed for 10 years. He's Liberian and has lived in Ghana for 20.
And good people. It's the same condition we're facing here. Here we have good people. We have bad people. It's not us. We're not aggressive. We womanizer. Him some colors. We love them. Always cutting us. Me like this, okay, good. If I can smoke, do I know the way from here to the farm?
Uncovered by ASAP said to be costing the nation 1.3 million cedis annually. One of our top stories, and we are not responsible for the hydro facility. After the break, we have sports, and then also EU Observer Mission describes Ghana's Supreme Court as reliable after delivering judgment.
Because we think it's reliable and acceptable, and it was proceeded in a normal and, let me say, neutral way.
And won the under-20 AFCON. But prior to that particular campaign, one of the accusations which was constantly leveled into the junior national teams, i.e. the under-17 and the under-20. However, in an interview with Joy Sports, Keto Kweku has denied those claims.
Before I became the president of the FA, my players always represented Ghana when they are called up. In the last U20 before, they're in the squad. And 3 of the very best. Yes, it's true. I am a big investor in football. I'm sure we also have 2, 3, 4. And if it is that a Dreams FC player is good, a Dreams FC player will be selected. Yeah. If it is that an All Blacks player is good, the player from All Blacks will be selected. If it's competitive, they dominated West Africa, they dominated Africa, and they are all Ghanaians.
The premiering of Crashed, Joy News' latest hotline documentary highlighting the menace of road accidents in Ghana, with over 7 is sustained. With all stakeholders in the sector under one roof, a strong case was made for urgent action to be taken. There's more in the following report.
Blood or scratches around him. Mention his name. There was no response.
Same thing. We can't sit down for over 2,000 lives to go just like that every year. I had to think of what I could do to paint the picture for all Ghanaians to appreciate the magnitude of the problem.
For the entire period of the screening, people were...
It looks like most of us, both drivers, were not cautious.
I feel very bad. My husband died through a car accident on his duty call. So I'm
to ending road crashes. Apostle James Kofi Abre is with the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council.
As we have come to see, I'm going to share with the council to really factor in the road safety campaign, because we are
too tall. A united call for enforcement of traffic regulations on our roads.
Big men evade punishment for breaking the law. Ordinary drivers are punished. But at the premiere of the Crash documentary yesterday, the chairman of the...
A person, even if me, a member of parliament who enacted the law, I'm not above the law. If I flout the law, I go with me. You have to deal with it. If you allow me to go, that is your own problem. But if with any other person, we need to start from some of us. The sanction should start.
That's the Transport European Union election observer has described as reliable. Ghana's Supreme Court, which delivered its verdict a few months ago on the election verdict, dismissed the petition, describing it as meritless. Yes, the European Union Chief Election Observer, Javier Nat, commented.
Process. What has been the decision of the court? We have full confidence in the procedure and in the legitimacy and acceptable, and it was proceeded in a normal and, let me say, neutral way. I do think
2020 election was free and fair.
Overall assessment in the mission's final report remains the same as it was in our preliminary statement, which is to say that the elections were...
That's the EU Observer Mission. I'll take you on a quick tour to other parts of the country and to the Ashanti region, where there's intensified call for a fire station in the Mansia.
Osu and his pregnant wife, Esther Kobna, together with their 2 children, were killed in the fire, leaving behind the eldest, who stays with her grandparents. The family of Kofi Osu on Monday gathered in the Aponapon community to mourn the deceased. Thomas Menu is head of family.
The family is in pain. He stands in my stead whenever I'm not around.
Ghana, tell us more about it. What are people saying?
All right, so let's go to John Demelo One, who says it's a big win for Ghana. Thanks Jack, and thanks to all warning just because Twitter decided to build their HQ in Ghana. And at I am Abuaje says, I just can't wait for the next Ghana versus Nigeria. Companies are making significant investments in Africa. It doesn't matter the location, so let's celebrate that. Everything else is noise. Emefa.
Okay, well, that's my pizza civilian, what you've been talking. Gridco misled Energy Minister Bui power plant still in operation. That's according to Fred Owari. A Blackwest resignation from appointments committee should have come with an apology.com. See time.